Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm here doing another player interview today. Today, I'm going to be interviewing Cameron Johnson, a 6'4" guard out of Stephen F. Austin University. He was part of that team that went off during the 2019-2020 season and beat Duke in overtime, completely upset them. You know, he played a good part for that team. I can't wait to talk to him, ask him questions. Hey, what's going on, man?
Oh my God.
What's going on? I want to start off by saying congrats on committing to Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be good seeing you there. I know you already a scoring machine at SFA. I can only imagine what you're gonna do there.
Yes, sir.
Man, I'm just gonna go ahead and hop on into it. Before your career at Stephen F. Austin, you started off at the junior college level, like a lot of the guys that I've talked to. You played at Tyler Junior College, where after your sophomore season, you ended up being an NJCAA honorable mention All-American. Describe that Juco experience for you, and um, how you had to produce for your team.
The Juco Experience, it wasn't as tough as people make it. It really was a life experience to show me that I wasn't really ready to go into the D1 standpoint at the time, and it really just made me humble myself and really look at it as I got to work harder and I got to outwork the next person, and it made me ready to go and do what I did at Stephen F. Austin.
Yeah, absolutely. Some guys, when they're transitioning from the JUCO level to the D1, sometimes they might struggle. Sometimes, they're not putting up as many points as they used to. You went to Stephen F. Austin and just kept on doing your thing. I mean, your junior year, you only started one game, but you were, without a doubt, the sixth man of the year in the Southland Conference, in my opinion. You averaged 11.4 points on 54% field goal percentage. You were doing a great job on a team that went 28-3 during your junior season. Not a lot of teams did that, and you guys had, a historic season for your school. Talk to me about that season. All the success that you guys had during that year.
Um, Really, we started off with a Spain trip, which really brought us all closer together. And after that, we got back to school, and everybody just that Spain trip really bonded us together. And it was like from there on forward, we all just called each other brothers, and every day we pushed each other harder. And it just the games became easier, practice became easier. It just all just well, one of my old teammates just joined, Samaj Hart. He was a part of the 28-3 team. It really just a team bond that made us that way.
Yeah, man, having the guys close together, that definitely always makes things easier. You guys had an incredible upset win over the number one team in the nation at the time, Duke, that had, a couple of NBA players in Vernon Carey, Stanley, Trey Jones. Um, Tell me the atmosphere that, the team had, the attitude that you guys had going into the game and, following that huge upset win.
And it really was like it was a win-lose situation for us. Whether we lost, the critics were still gonna talk about it. Whether we won, the critics was gonna talk about it. But as the game went on, we really just stuck together, and we knew once we kept pulling closer that we could really win this game. And we was leading the nation in defense. So it just like we hung our hats on defense. So that really made the game more easier for us because we slowed them down. They really couldn't just score the ball how they wanted to score and how they been scoring it.
Yeah, it was good. I remember watching the game, man. You guys put up a great defensive effort on them, keeping, their main guys on their toes. You came off the bench. You scored 16 points. You were a big factor in that game, the second leading scorer for your team. And tell me, how did you feel during that game? Did you have any nerves going in, or were you just confident from the start?
Previous to that game, I didn't even practice the week before the game because I had the flu. So I went straight into that game with flu symptoms. So it was just like I couldn't breathe. I really didn't want to play in the game because I was really still sick. But I knew that I couldn't make no excuse, and I had to pick up for my team. And going into that game, we just knew that if we played hard and played how we was supposed to be, couldn't nobody stop us. And that's just what we did. And we ended up upsetting the world.
Yeah, huge upset. I remember there's a picture, and I know you have it on your Instagram account too, of you getting ready to inbound the ball, and you have all the fans behind you, yelling at you. What do you remember? Do you remember that moment? Do you remember, what was going through your mind?
Man, it was just like I kept I kept hearing them in my ear. Then I looked around and it was like it was people that was literally could touch me from the stands, and I'm like, man, is this really how Duke is? But I couldn't buy into it at the time because we was too focused on trying to win a game that could really change the university, which it did.
Yeah, you guys made a big impact there. Your senior year, you took a huge step. You started every single game. You were one of their main guys. You averaged 15 points, 5 rebounds, still shooting 55% from the field. I mean, you were just a bucket getter, pretty much is how to put it. So, what was that new role for you heading into your senior season? What did you do to take that leadership role for your team?
Well, it's like I played behind Kevon Harris, so I watched him. I I studied his game. I just watched how he led us my junior year, and I just did everything. I mirrored everything that he did, and I added more to my game, which was shooting 38% from three, something that I have never done before in my college career. So it just like coach kept telling me, he was like, "I believe in you," and he believed in me, and I just took off with it. And my teammates followed behind me. They allowed me to be their leader for them.
Yeah, you were definitely a leader, man. Absolutely. Every time you played against a Power Five conference school, as mentioned, you had 16 against Duke. When you guys played Alabama, you went off for 18. You guys played Baylor, you went off for 12 points. You've consistently, produced in those big games. So has there ever been a game? Is there a game that you can remember during your time at SFA that really sticks out to you? Like, yeah, this is my time to shine. This is where I show how good I am.
Man, Alabama was my favorite game. Nobody really expected us to go in there and beat the SEC team after we had previously played Duke. Nobody nobody really thought that we could hang with them. They thought that Duke game was a fluke. So it's just like it was one big game after another, and I've been playing ball since I'm 4 years old. So it's just like I never had fear in my heart. I always been the big dog on the court. I always wanted to go guard the best player or go at the best player.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the kind of mentality you got to have. If you ain't going after the main guy, then you're not really showing the world what you can really do. During your senior year, you had 20 plus points 8 different times. You had a career high of 36 against Midwestern State. A monster double double with 13 points, 15 rebounds against Abilene Christian. What kind of work have you been doing? I mean, those are some crazy numbers right there. What kind of work have you been doing in the off season to improve, even more going into your fifth year with now Arkansas Pine Bluff?
I just been really working on my ball handling, becoming more as a point guard because I know as I go to the next level, they don't have no 6'4" small forwards or nothing like that. So I just been ball handling, shooting a lot of threes, a lot of mid ranges, playing without the ball. Something that I gotta get better with, playing through ball screens. So it's just a lot of work that I've been putting in through this off season, getting ready to go into my fifth year.
Yeah, it's exciting. How excited are you? I know COVID affected everybody. It was a horrible pandemic that we all had to go through. But one good thing did come out of it for the athletes is that you guys got this extra year. What is your thoughts about this extra year?
Man, that extra year was really a blessing. I really thank God. Really, it was an early Christmas gift this year. We get an extra year. We get an extra year to go out and build our draft stock with players planning on going into the next level or going overseas, wherever the case may be. They got another year, and if their school didn't fit out for them, they got another year to go and play somewhere else. Which I wanted to come and play for the hometown, and that's what I did after decommitting from Middle Tennessee State. I wanted to do it for my family and my city.
Yeah, well, that leads right into my next question with Arkansas Pine Bluff. You're going back home. Uh, what made you? I mean, obviously that, but did you develop a good relationship with the coaching staff? Have you known them a while? What other factors played into your commitment to Arkansas Pine Bluff?
when Coach Solo was at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock, which I'm from Little Rock, so it's like he was already recruiting me through my JUCO process, but I never committed to come back and play at Little Rock. I committed to SFA, so it's like he kept in touch with me, he kept watching me, and it just we always had the relationship before this college basketball when I was in high school. So it's just like now I got the opportunity to actually capitalize on it. Why not capitalize on it with the coach that I've been knowing, and we got a great relationship.
Yeah, it's always good to have a good relationship with the coach. Is there anyone you're looking forward to playing with or playing against next season?
Man, whatever come with it, I'm with it. I know it's gonna be a lot of power schools that want to play us because they're not a heavily recruited school or not a Power Five school. So, like you said, I done scored 10 plus on every Power Five school I done played. So it's like whatever challenge thrown at me, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see you play next season, man. I'm definitely going to be tuning into the games. You know, I definitely see you going pro after this year for sure. I mean, watching you play at SFA, you're a really good scorer. I can't wait to see you go pro, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. I really appreciate you doing this with me. I'm definitely going to keep in touch.
Okay.
All right, man. Cool.